schedule. So sometimes I do not sleep, and I do not believe in being up and not being productive at some point in time. So listen, I figured we'll come on here. I was just sitting down, looking through the VF-23, looking at the VF-22, and just kind of making some notes on some changes. But before I get there, this is memberships, and 6 months are over. I need these members to contact me for your Wolfpack shirts, your Wolfpack podcast shirts. It is a gift from me to you for being a member of the channel for 6 months or more. I got a gang of them back in, so it's time to start shipping out. I need Self-Made Maintenance and Dolly Hadell to get with me. Self-Made Maintenance and Dolly Hadell. That is Hadeel. Dolly Hadell and Self-Made Maintenance. Listen, if I called that name, that means you're a member. If you're a member, that means you also have access to the Discord channel. What's going on, Pavin? How you doing? So go ahead and enable your connections in Discord, or download Discord so you can be in the Wolfpack Discord channel. Give me your shipping address, and I will send you a free shirt out, all right? That is a gift from me to you for being a member of the channel for 6 months or more. Let's put these to the side and get to some information. So we are looking at Haas comes out with their reveal. I got to say, it was lackluster at best, very just dropped photos. Evidently, they contacted, certain journalists or certain platforms and gave them the pictures and say, hey, drop this shit at 9 a.m. Let's go. But since then, I've been taking a look at some of the actual pictures and comparing them to some of the pictures that I had from last season, 2022, when they were doing updates. All right. So if you pay attention to even that picture just kind of coming up is a very important picture because of that fence profile. We know that Haas spent a lot of time making small little adjustments, no big updates, like some of the other teams, McLaren, Williams, Aston Martin. They saved their biggest update. I want to say it might have been Spain. I want to say Spain. Biggest update is when they got the white Ferrari coin phrase. Okay, now that definitely did happen. So we're gonna take a look at some of these changes real quick, and I'm gonna try to go through these. So I've made some arrows. Some of these arrows look similar in color, but not. Okay, so we're going to start from the rear of the car, moving up to the front of the car, and the purple arrow. Now, if you can't see it, if you look down at the VF-22, down there is, I believe that's the photo from when they had P5, P11. But either way, I want to say it might have been even Saudi. But if we look at the bottom photo, the VF-22, if you look at the rear floor area, there's a cutout there, that pink arrow. The purple arrow to the rear's most part of the car. If you go up to the newest version of the VF-23, that cutout is not there. Also, I would like to note that the side stay support is there on both cars, all right? Though a bit more shorter or not as lengthy on the VF-23, it is still presently there. We do know that became a controversy in 2022 as far as the side stays being utilized and then being allowed, and certain teams feeling like if that was the case, and I believe one of those teams was BWT Alpine, they made a very stiff, heavier floor because they're making it stiff, making it more non-flex, and they didn't use side stays where other competitors use the side stay. Therefore, they had a lighter floor, and they thought that was unfair, but it was allowed. The next thing will come up to the green arrow. Now, this is going to be the side pod area near the cockpit. If you notice the cooling louvers on the VF-22 compared to the cooling louvers on the VF-23, much more elongated, traveling much more from the mid to the back section of the car. But understand that this is something that definitely will change depending on their cooling package. This car coming out definitely could be show car, but I do expect for this car to carry some of the philosophies that the real car will carry. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind. This car will carry some of the philosophies that the real car will carry, though we know in a season things are going to change like bananas. All right, it's going to be crazy the way things are going to change. So then we go into the red arrow upper part in the air horn or rollover hoop area. You'll notice that there are some people might call them canards. You might want to call them vanes, fins, wings. There is something there to direct airflow near that T-cam area. Okay, that is not there on the VF-22, but it is very present on the VF-23. So we'll come a little bit further up, moving down to the lower portion of the car, the white arrow indicating the inlet, the side pod inlet. If you notice on the VF-22, it swoops back just a tad. All right. But on the VF-23, they've brought that up and squared it up just a little bit. OK, so they changed the inlet profile there, and we'll see what that does and if that even remains, because some of these cars are going to like 2022 changed dramatically and more in other teams than some. OK, so these cars will change, but there is a nice addition change there that I did notice, and that is the floor fence area of the floor fence area right here. You'll see if you look at the VF-22 compared to the VF-23, they brought some of it out. They've added some fences more inside there, directing that airflow. So maybe possibly learning a bit more about the ground effects and therefore applying these knowledges and these philosophies to the newer revision of the Haas car, which is the VF-23. And they've changed that area. So then we come up here, back up to the halo section. You'll see the orange area. They re-profiled that window cutout area where the halo is. Definitely probably for airflow. We'll see if that changes. To me, it looks like a little less visibility. But also remember, in 2022, they were testing bigger side view mirrors at that one race. Okay, I can't recall which race it is. I go in my notes, I'll see it. But they were testing bigger side rear view mirrors. All right, so in this situation, I didn't technically see those bigger mirrors here really profound, but we're going to see if that's really going to carry over. But that might be the reason why they were able to reduce that side window profile area of the rollover, not the rollover hoop, but the halo area in the cockpit, is because now they have a bigger side view mirror, and some of those things would change. And we also know because of the bigger wheels, they were talking about visibility issues and all of that stuff. A learning curve, it's growing pains. The next, we come up to the light blue area toward the front of the nose. From the bottom to the top, you'll notice that there's also some type of gurney there directing airflow coming across that front nose area. And last but not least, and this is not all of the things, and it really doesn't matter how many changes we try to notice or how many wrinkles, some of these things will change as the year progresses. But the dark blue area indicating where the end plate is, you'll notice that notch cutout in the VF-22 on the bottom side picture compared to the top with the VF-23. That notch is not present, and if it is very, very, very faint. Okay, now Haas spent a lot of time last season on front end plates, and there's a picture right there on the front end plate. They changed that vein that ran along the side right below that spark plug. They changed that several times through the season. I mean, several times. The leading edge, the trailing edge of that, they spent little time here and there with this end plate. They didn't do a lot fast. They didn't do a lot fast, but they did do some things later. And as you see right here, you got the lower floor profile and all that good stuff. So listen, what does this mean for Haas? I don't know. Does it mean Haas goes from 2021 from 10 to 2022 8 to 2023 6? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not too bought in on that. I do believe they have although an older driver pairing and something that is not going to wow you, K-Mag getting his first pole position and the team's first pole position last season in Brazil, which was crazy. I'm not sure that Nico and K-Mag take Haas to even the upper stratosphere of this world in performance. If anything changes, it's going to be the performance of the car enabling the drivers to do a bit better on track. That is something that we will have to see. And we're also going to see if Ferrari with their power unit have improved on reliability and can keep that power going throughout the duration of a race instead of catching on fire. Carlos Sainz, we saw that. Fortunately, he got out of that, did not lose his life. We saw several issues. Charles out in the lead so far, it wasn't even funny. And then that power unit fell in, but we'll save that for Ferrari's drop. The next reveal we have coming up is Red Bull. That is this Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, supposedly. I do expect for that reveal to be way better than Haas's reveal. It's Red Bull, and Red Bull do a good job about their promo shoots, especially because they're in extreme sports heavily. So we'll see what happens. But those are some little minor wrinkles on the VF-23 that I was just taking note of. We'll see how many of these things change as we go through updates from GP to GP to GP. And it's also going to be funny to see how many updates actually come around in the second season of having the new regs and the floor and the ground effects, all that stuff. So that'll also be interesting to see how these teams keep growing, keep molding. Do some of these teams find out that maybe the new direction is the wrong direction, just like Mercedes found out that their new direction coming out into the new era of these regulations and ground effects was completely screwed, and managed to get somewhat of a hold on it toward the end of the season. So it's going to be really interesting to see that W14 as well. Yeah, so I'm also interested to see the RB19 because, I mean, Adrian Newey and them did a great job with that car last season. They did a great job producing a rocket, producing a car that after a few races in the season did become reliable, and it became consistently fast at majority of the tracks throughout the season, which is what led to them having what they got, you know, last season, except for the 1 and 2 in the driver championship points. But we know whose fault that was. So we'll get from there. So anyway, hey, big shout out to you all. I did say I was going to try to get on at odd times for the lives. Plus, we got to get conditioned because these drops are going to be happening at odd times. They're not always going to be at a nice 9 a.m. or noon for me. They're going to be 5, 3 a.m. Just depends. You know, we're working off different worlds of the clock. So we'll see what happens there. Plus, some of these races, right? Some of these races and qualifying are going to be butt ton early in the morning. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you all for who all did check in. It is an odd time, but hey, I'm up, and I said might as well be productive. I'm lightweight thinking about going and making me some pancakes, although I shouldn't have them. I'm kind of like, fuck it. I might just have them anyway. I'm going to pay the price. I just might as well. It might as well be fun before I get there. You know what I'm saying? Have fun to the max without the tax. All right. Peace out. Peace and love. See y'all soon. Definitely see y'all Friday for the reveal for Red Bull Racing at the RB19. I'm out.